Hey, Virgos. It's y'all's turn for a twin flame or soulmate past life reading. These are, in general, basically for someone who is a Virgo in this life, questioning a connection right now as to whether this is a twin flame or a soulmate connection. You'll know if this reading is for you because it will start to resonate somehow, some way, be similar to something that is going on in your lives now. Understand that a lot of these timelines play out over and over again over lifetimes and lifetimes, and they play out among many, many characters that decide to come here and play these games. This game that, if it is a twin flame connection, if you did come here to play that game, has a certain amount of set storylines, honestly, because it's a co-created game. Whereas most people that aren't here to play that game, you have more free will than if you came to play a co-created game, because a co-created game, people keep playing like you're playing chess or you're playing, like you're playing directly against your opponent, and that creates a lot of drama, and we can't help but do that as a society for some reason. Twin flames, you're actually supposed to work together to better each other, but it becomes this thing where you're just so set on playing against each other, it can cause a lot of drama. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Virgo's past life first. Then I am going to read Virgo's either twin flame or soulmate. Whoever is watching this, if this starts resonating with you, this will go the further I go along. The story will unfold as it unfolds. Sometimes it's a little different every time. All right, now this is a card that fell out for you. Finances. Finances play a major factor in whatever programming you received as a child. You have the Asia card here, the biblical card, and the baby card. So I do believe that you were born in the Eurasia, Asia area in biblical times, in an area that was torn in a lot of conflict. I see you got a lot of wisdom in this life, a lot of lessons and blessings for you. You had a strong connection to the universe, possibly a star seed. You were definitely a major kind of manifester, and you were a writer of some kind. You wanted to document your experience here. All right. Know that in general, yes, starseed, or well, in general, here we go. Soul transitions, in general, most follow their DNA line, but some do not. Some do not. Some do jump. That's how you clear karmic family ties and things like that. Some do jump timelines, jump DNA lines. Most don't. Most stay within a soul cluster just because their soul cluster also follows that DNA. But every now and then you get bumped. It's part of the game. You get bumped and you have to find your way back. And let's get some more clarifiers as to the type of person you were. her showing at the bottom right here. I do sense that you've been a powerful type of manifester, manifesting energy for a long time. I got the Two of Wands here. And this life was for you. You were really fascinated about discovery. You really, really wanted to travel, but I do sense that you felt stuck a lot of the time in your situation. You were a very passionate person, but I feel like you kept that below the surface a lot, behind a mask. You were very smart and perceptive in figuring out what you should say when you should say it, and you were very methodical about this to a certain extent, right? I do see an Ace of Pentacles here, which is like some sort of inspiration that had come in at some point, something. Yeah. Some way, I have a feeling that this is more of a way of you got some sort of inspiration on how to manifest these travels that you felt stuck from. And then enter in the Jack of Fire here. Right? Enthusiastic, adventurous, passionate. Don't he just look like trouble? He's got a shadow in the back. He's got a bit of a shadow side to him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's that favorite meme of mine. It's a picture of a male model, and it shows those lines by his hips, and it's just like, I don't know what these lines are called, but it makes smart girls stupid. So I have a feeling like that's the energy I've got coming in for you with this. Now, I don't think you totally lost your wits about you. But let's check out this character. And now I do set the genders, but it just helps me keep them back and forth. So Virgo, I'll probably refer to you as the she most of the time. And then whoever this is will probably be considered he the whole time. But that's really more or less just that I can keep track in my mind. Makes more. You'll see. What is Virgo's counterpart? This person had a lot of trust and faith in life. They were very attached to and loyal to their mother. It was a very deep ancestral honor type thing for them. They were also in the same area as you, so they were from the same area as you. I do get that they came from a rural communal living type area where they traded, everybody had a job, everybody did what they did, but he became a musician. Love is in the middle of his prayer. Right, so he became a musician so that he could have the finances to travel. Do we see where our inspiration is coming from? they were also a very powerful manifester. You can see it says high priest or priestess. It just happens to have a picture of a priestess on it. So you guys both had this magnanimous manifesting energy. Let's get a little bit deeper on him, shall we? This stuff one's making me blush. Oh, now here we go. Like I said before, like I felt like they had a very strong positive connection with their mother, because this is in between those cards up there is the 6 of Wands victory. So it was somebody who was very, very in tune with feminine energy. They had a strong connection with their mother. They understood women on that way, on that level. I sense they did travel with the band. They did have or managers or somebody who helped them do all that traveling and making money, playing music. They weren't just a lone bard. They had a group with them, their own little soul tribe that traveled with them. Though I do see here, right? Now you had the Queen of Swords behind the mask. This is the King of Swords. I am the machine, right? But I always say with this card, it's like he doesn't really have any emotions. It's kind of heartless. There's no flesh. There's no nothing. I just do what I do and I keep on moving. But then right in between the love card, after love, on the other side of the love card is making that hard decision. I do see that he at one point did walk away from something or someone, but he did it for a 10 of Cups. And I will say this, it shows transportation, and the High Priestess card that you also had is where the High 10 of Cups is over it. So I'm getting a strong sense that at some point they chose you over... It says somebody was taking care of them, working with them. Somebody was working them like they were a machine. And they had to make a choice. All right. They had to make a choice. What is their 10 of Cups? Is it the High Priestess? Or are they the manifestors? Do they got what they want? Let's see what happened after you two have come together. Assuming you would have ran into them at a show or when they came into your area. But I have a feeling they stayed. You guys all stayed in Asia for this. I get a sense that you're more on the outer edges, because no wars or battles or anything came up that in his spread, but it did come up in yours, Virgo. I should put theirs and yours. That would work out better. I said once again, I got the biblical era for this. I got the scribe and writer card again. I got karmic relationship that's created here. Leaving or travel. The Celtic card is in the middle here. I have phobias, health, finances, trust, and faith at the end. I'd like to get some clarifiers before I dive into this. It doesn't seem that you guys did, in fact, come together. Once I get some clarifiers, we'll see who went where. Somebody did go into Northern Europe. All right, guys. The musician did continue on their path. They traveled from Inner Asia to the borderlands of Asia where they met you, and then they continued on into Northern Europe. I see with the writing and passion card that you guys did keep in type of a communication. I would have guessed that they stayed with on trading pads, things of that nature, ways where there was scribe and writing, because that is up here. Is on there. I do have the Jack of Hearts here. And I'm just getting a strong sense with the karmic relationship card here that the musician, though kept up with communications and things like that, was not faithful in a physical sense. And I have a sense that they created other strong connections with other people that kind of created these karmic connections around them. Because I keep getting this card for y'all too, which means if you guys did come here with that galactic, like I said, you're either a beacon to the universe or you're a starseed, right? And those are the two dynamics that play out here. You either feel like you're part of the groups that like are a beacon of the earth, and then there's ones that feel like they're starseeds, they're projected here from someplace else. If you have that energy, you can be very magnanimous. And I have a feeling this person created a lot of karmic relationships on their journeys, right? Because it's got leaving and travel towards that area, and it's like King of Cups, man. He was still the king of his emotions. Four of Cups. Which is like love forever, but in a regular tarot deck, it's like overlooking one cup while you're looking at the other three. So I have a feeling that he just kept going. That was that even though you were writing, you never came back. This created a lot of phobias for you. Those phobias created health issues. I do have the Three of Wands here. So you did have some foresight in this, like you weren't stupid. You were still the Queen of Swords. You were still very intellectual and perceptive, and you saw the possibility that this could be how it goes down. You didn't delude yourself. Like, you knew it was an intense connection. You knew it was something else, but you were also Queen of Cups, right? So you got control of your cup. I got control of my cup too. Granted, I'm not letting anybody else sip out of my cup, but, I'm just putting trust and faith in the universe. This connection was what it was for what it was for. That was interesting. This is starseeds do that a lot to people. Those are false flames, right? Not everybody came here to play the twin flame game, but every now and then you come across a twin flame and it creates you into the false flame narrative. And that's how you create karmics. Because you convince them that they're a flame energy, but if they can't have those levels of connections with anybody else in their life, then they are not a flame energy. Because they're not in control of it. They were just a receiver of it. And you allowed yourself to pick it up. Hope this makes sense for y'all. All right, let's get you guys some tarot cards. My whole path today. What advice from this life can we take into this life? As always, these readings are timeless. Shouldn't need to be said in a past life reading, but you never know. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, spank my bell, click my like button, tell me that you like it. Should I get you guys a shadow aspect and earth magic too? Just for giggles. People are like, you should have a set thing. I should. But everybody knows whenever I say I'm going to set a certain thing, I won't do it. For some reason, I'm more defiant with myself than anybody else on the planet. So, let's get you an earth magic. But I'm always interested. So I've been told. Thanks. Okay. All right, so I got the Three of Rods, the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priest, and the Knight of Cauldrons, and the Four of Cauldrons. So Three of Rods is just telling me that you should be concerned with who is on your team, who is genuinely on your team. The Wheel of Fortune, are you following your synchronicities? Are you following your guides? Are you listening to yourself? High Priest, are you in control of your own energy, or is you allowing someone else to control your energy? Because once you are in control of your energy, that's where the Knight of Cups can come in. But be mindful when the Knight of Cups comes in that you are not too generous with your cup and they're not too generous with theirs. Don't become codependent on each other and don't become toxic to each other. This is how you create somebody. On these levels, we're getting into multiple lives and things. This is how you create that codependent string. This is how they create it. But they're asleep. They don't need no more to drink. Yet this person's still pouring into their cup. Why? They want their system so full of that energy that they become addicted to it. That when it's no longer there, there's a withdrawal. They do it on purpose. All right? So you just got to watch out for those kind of energies. Knight of Cups is fine. When you are fully in your power, offers of love will come in. Be mindful of how those connections play out. All right. Now, if you notice that you're having a major problem with this type of connection, and you realize that you need to be able to be vulnerable, for one. You should always be able to be vulnerable in any given situation. You shouldn't have to constantly be shielded all the time. True connections, you should be allowed to be vulnerable, and you should definitely be able to be vulnerable with yourself within your own space, right? Make it before the stars. Humble yourself, right? A little bit. Honor where you are in life. And anybody who has a problem with you doing that needs to go. Sometimes you need to put your foot down, and it's after the volcano explodes that the earth is reborn with all these extra nutrients and the soil is more fertile than ever. You know, the volatility card, if you look real close, I don't know if you can see her. That's the goddess from Moana there. That's the same goddess, right? She's both the nurturing mother, but at the same time, sometimes you got to explode and put your foot down and set healthy boundaries with people. And be realistic and show the same respect that you're given. With this past life reading, I mean, that's the message I'm really getting. It's like, you know, just because the connection is fantastic or whatever, you got to put it in the terms of reality, of this reality sometimes too. When in this past life, this person was a traveling musician that came into your life. You knew they were going to continue to keep traveling. And you didn't sit there. Well, in this case, you did. You did. You were happy with the connection that you had. You found your own avenues for money and things of that nature. And you were cool without them actually being there, which most twin flames don't stay together. The energy's too intense. So you guys were able to maintain that love connection throughout that lifetime, but only because you were in different areas. You know, you don't know how it would have worked out if you guys were together, or if you would have traveled with them, or they would have traveled with you, you know, or they would have stayed. But in this time, that reading, they left, and you didn't delude yourself with the fact that they may never come back. But it did carry in some phobias for you that you could be carrying right now, which is what? I'm scared of somebody leaving and never coming back. I'm scared it will never reach past this level, especially with the way communication works now with writing. And you need to ask yourself, how long do you want to stay in that kind of connection? How long do you want to stay in a maybe connection? How long do you want to stay in a connection that can't come into fruition? What healthy boundaries can you set for yourself so that you can be back in a place, you know, where you feel empowered and a little bit stronger? All right, Virgo. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. All the messages that I can think of that came through. I don't want to sit here and start rambling on and on and on. All right. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and windy paths with me. As always, like, you know, share, subscribe, smack my bell, click my like button, all that good jazz. All the reading information's in the bottom, secondary channels, all that good stuff. I love y'all, and I'll catch you again as soon as I can.